And then I offered the individuals $1,000 a person to come on stage and share their truth. And all of a sudden, the hands went up everywhere. And I called out a couple guys. In fact, a couple of the individuals just ran and jumped on stage. One of the men who came on stage, I just found this out recently. He's a coaching client of mine now, and he's gone through an amazing transformation. He's lost 80 pounds. He's sober. He's happy. He's doing Spartan races. He's inspiring everybody in his community. Well, this individual actually came to this entire event to watch Marcus Luttrell speak. But while Marcus Luttrell was speaking, this individual, his name's Sean as well, was in his hotel room hungover. Welcome back to another episode of the Unstoppable Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Sean Michael Crane. Now, you guys, do me a favor. Please subscribe to the channel. I want this message to grow. We got to share this message with the world, and I need your help. So make sure to subscribe and share with anybody that you think is going to be receptive to my message or needs to hear my message. As always, we're down here in beautiful Santa Barbara, California at the Unstoppable HQ. And today I want to tell you a story. This is going to be a great story. I want you to listen and pay attention to what I share with you in this message. About a year ago, I was speaking at an event. I was speaking at an event in Austin, Texas, with some really amazing people. Tim Grover was there speaking. Who else? Marcus Luttrell, Hunter Cloudis, who's an actor. There was a lot of great industry-specific speakers as well. But I remember the day prior to my speaking segment, I believe I was closing out the entire event. It was Victor Rancor's Profit Rocket event in Austin, Texas. And the day before I spoke, I heard Marcus Luttrell speak. And I sat in the audience as he shared his wisdom, his experience, his learning lessons, everything that he had been through. If you don't know who Marcus Luttrell is, he was the individual they wrote the book Lone Survivor about. And then Mark Wahlberg went on to play Marcus Luttrell in the movie. And it's about Navy SEALs who were trapped behind enemy lines in Afghanistan. And Marcus Luttrell was the only one that survived the battle that they had with, I think it was the Taliban at the time. And as he spoke, I noticed that he spoke to the entire audience as if we were related, as if we were brothers and sisters. And really, when he was speaking to us as if we were one whole, as if we were just as much a part of him and his life experience or his beliefs or his wants and desires for a better world. He spoke to us in a way that moved me. He spoke to us all as if we were so connected. And I felt it in that moment. And I remember as he was speaking, I thought, man, I want to do something like that will be special for the audience. I don't want to just get up there tomorrow and tell my story and share about being in prison and share about everything I did to change my life. I want to make it about each individual in the audience. I want them to leave here with some takeaway, something that's going to transform their lives forever. And that was the thought that I got. Now, you guys, I've had these moments all throughout my life, well, especially since I decided to change my life 12 years ago, where God speaks to me. It's my voice, but it's not my idea. It's not my thought. It's from someplace above me, beyond me. I could feel it. I know it. We have the same reoccurring thoughts each and every day. We're reacting to stuff. We're talking to family members. We're at work. We're doing these things. But every so often, we have this spontaneous idea or this thought that's really powerful, something that we want to do in our lives, a change we need to make. It's different. And this is why I like to go out and run in the mornings or work out. This is why personal development is so important. This is why sobriety is so important. Because if you're not tapped in on a deep level, you're never going to be able to access these thoughts and ideas. And I truly believe it's God speaking to me, God speaking through me and guiding me on my mission, on my path in life. And ever since I've started listening to that voice 12 years ago, my entire life has improved. All I've done is worked on myself to the extent that I could tap into this message, that I had the clarity, that I was tapped in on a deeper level. And I've just listened to that voice and I've done what it's told me to do. I've taken action. I've done everything to the best of my ability. And ever since I made that decision, my entire world has transformed before my eyes. It's crazy. But I truly believe that if we're all able to tap into what some people call infinite intelligence or God's voice or, the authentic voice of God, your conscience, I believe your whole life will improve immensely forever. And I feel like you experience this connection that's so deep and profound. It changes the way you live your life. It changes the way you see the world. It changes the way you feel. It changes the way you experience this journey. And so I just want to share that with you guys. If you're ignoring that conscience, if you're ignoring that voice inside your head that's telling you to make a change, you have to recognize you're ignoring your best life, your best self. You're turning the opposite way. Don't do that because you're going to look back later on in life and realize, damn, I had the answers all along. Why didn't I listen? That's what I found in prison. I have the answers. All I got to do is listen. All I got to do is listen, have faith, and be willing to take action. And so I know this. And I've done it over and over and over to the point where there's no doubt. I just act accordingly. And so that day when I listened to Marcus Luttrell speak, the voice that came to me told me, make it about the audience, not about yourself, Sean. And I literally changed my presentation moments before I stepped on that stage, and I just winged it. And what I did was I called out to the audience and I started connecting with them, asking questions. And one of the questions I asked was, is anyone in the audience here right now knowing in their heart they need to make a change, but they feel stuck and they're battling something in their life that is overpowering them? And I had guys coming on stage and sharing what they want to change in their lives, who they wanted to be, the things that were holding them back, the things they were doing that were detrimental to themselves and to their families and to everything they loved in life, And the way I started getting these guys on stage is I offered money. At first, I asked the whole audience, raise your hand if you have a change you want to make. I want to get you on stage. I want you to share with the audience so we can help you to transform your life today. And no one wanted to raise their hand because nobody wants to put themselves on the spot. No one wants to be vulnerable and open in front of thousands of people. And then I offered the individuals $1,000 a person to come on stage and share their truth. And all of a sudden, the hands went up everywhere. And I called out a couple guys. In fact, a couple of the individuals just ran and jumped on stage. One of the men who came on stage, I just found this out recently. He's a coaching client of mine now, and he's gone through an amazing transformation. He's lost 80 pounds. He's sober. He's happy. He's doing Spartan races. He's inspiring everybody in his community. Well, this individual actually came to this entire event to watch Marcus Luttrell speak. But while Marcus Luttrell was speaking, this individual, his name's Sean as well, was in his hotel room hungover because he had gone out drinking the night before. So the reason that he thought he was going to this event was to see Marcus Luttrell speak because he was a Marine, just like Sean was, a former Marine, but he missed his entire presentation. And instead, he happened to be in that room when I was speaking, and he was one of the men that came on stage. Now, he just recently confided in us and told us he came on stage because his initial thought was, oh man, I can get $1,000. That might be some good drinking money. He had no intention to really change. He had no intention to take it seriously, but something inside of his heart, something stirring within his soul compelled him to get on that stage. You see, a lot of times when we want to make a change in our lives, we're scared. We make excuses. Part of us doesn't really want it, but deep down inside, we really want it. Deep down inside, you don't want to be a failure. Deep down inside, you don't want to be a has-been. Deep down inside, you don't want to settle in life. You don't want to be someone you're embarrassed of. You don't want to be ashamed of who you are. You don't want your family members and friends looking at you like, man, what happened to that guy? But you see a lot of people, it's hard for them to change. And so this individual, Sean, came on stage and he told the audience he wanted to be sober. He was an alcoholic, but he couldn't change. He had all this guilt and trauma from the past that he couldn't overcome. And he really spilled his guts in front of everyone. And because he had that courage and he was willing to get on stage and share in front of everyone, I gave him 6 months free in my coaching program. Now, it's been over 6 months. Sean not only spent the entire 6 months with us, but he's been sober. He's working out every day. Like I said, he's lost about 70 pounds. He looks like a transformed man. When you see his eyes are lit up. His smile is infectious. And this man is inspiring everybody in his community to be sober, to be fit, to be their best selves because he's sharing it on social media. He's documenting every day when he's out on his runs. He's doing live videos on Facebook. He's proud of who he is, so he wants to share it online. He's proud of who he is, so he wants to show people. Like I said, he's out doing these Spartan races and pushing his mind and body to the limit. And this is incredible because the only reason this happened is because God told me to share a different message on stage because I was moved by Marcus Luttrell's speech, who God was definitely speaking through him in those moments, and anyone that was in attendance could feel it. And you guys, the message here and like the fact that Sean Namkana randomly showed up to that segment where I was speaking and ended up on stage and it's changing his life and inspiring other people to do the same. Like there's something greater at work here. That's the message. I want you to realize how interconnected we all are. You hear somebody speak and it moves you, it speaks to you. It's for a reason. You have these thoughts about who you want to be and these changes you want to make. It's for a reason. You have this internal moral compass striving to guide you every day to be the person you're intended to be for a reason. That is your purpose. And as you walk that line and as you take those steps and you embark upon that journey, you're going to start to see a greater calling in your life unveiled. You're going to meet people. You're going to go a different direction. You're going to go into a new career. You're going to start new relationships. You're going to do things that you never thought you would do. You're going to have new ideas. You know, you're going to end up in a place in life where you look around and you go, oh my gosh, look what has transpired simply because I became willing to follow that path and I had faith that voice inside of me was going to lead me to something great and special in life. You never know where you're going to end up in a year from now or 2 years from now or 10 years from now. I promise you this, though. If you don't adhere to that voice and start trusting it, you're probably going to be in the same place you are right now. If you want a better life, you got to believe in that feeling inside of you. You got to have the courage to walk that path and never look back. Look, you guys, I'm on a mission to change the world, but I can't do it by myself. I need you to step up and lead by example. And I need you to subscribe and share this podcast episode with everybody that you know that needs to be inspired to level up in their lives. Like I said, I'm on a mission to change the world, but I can't do it alone. I need you. Let's do it together.